Hi, friends. Good evening, IBS Mumbai. Hi, Aishwarya, Ashil, Naveen, Subham, Avinash, Amandeep, Saurav, and rest of my friends from IBS Mumbai. First of all, thank you so very much for this invite, and thank you for taking out time on a Monday evening to attend this. It's been 23 years I've been practicing HR in all different sectors. God has been very kind. I have got opportunity to work in multiple sectors and found always great bosses from where I have learned lot many nuances of managing people. I wish to share my experiences around leadership lessons that I have gained in my last 23 years of practicing HR across sectors. I see there are 39 students, 39 of my friends from IBS Mumbai already joined in, and I'm hoping the number will be more than 115, 150 as told to me. Here is my suggestion. We'll wait for another maximum 3 minutes, then we are going to start the session. An initial 30 to 40 minutes, what I wish to do is I'll share my experiences and the kind of insights I have got specifically in the form of leadership lessons, followed with Q&A for about 15 minutes on first come first serve basis. That's how pretty much the structure of the program looks like. Without further ado, we will start this program, but as I said, I'll wait for 2 more minutes so that I don't have to repeat what I have already covered for rest of your friends. Yeah, I hope all of you are really doing good and giving a tough fight to Corona. Hi Neha, Athar, Mayank. That's fine, Neha. I understand. It happens. That's okay, absolutely. But I thought remaining 40 students should not be waiting for us, and hence, I came live. Basis your request, I'll wait for 5 minutes. And since I'm waiting, I wanted to understand whether your campus is up and running right now. Have you guys started resuming your classes from your campus, or still this is work from home or learning from home rather? Very good evening, Shivani. Fantastic, Nirmal. That answers my question. Thank you for that response. Thank you, Tejas, Mayank, Harinder. Yeah, Harinder, the beauty is learning should never stop, whether this is E or this is in room, in campus, direct, learning from teachers, learning should never stop. So long as that happens, we all are happy. Hi, Parth, Saurav. Great. The number is increasing from 40 to it has gone to 54. Okay. Hi, Juhi, Ridhima Misra. Very good evening. Vrindan, Harinder, Parth. Rachel, Aruneshwar, Devyani, Anisha, brilliant. I promise you I'll try my best to share my practical experiences, and hopefully by end of this 45 minutes you will find the session useful, and at least if there are two takeaways for each one of you, then I'll be happy. And that's how I would conclude that the program is successful. Hi Achal, Nilay, very good evening, and thank you for joining in. Hi Teja, Raksha, Tina, Aditya, Sukumar. Hi friends. Aditya, a little more time and I'm sure the crisis will be over and you will again go back to your campus life. Teja has logged in from Hyderabad, Gurajapalli. Hi Suman, good evening. Aditya, oh Vijayawada. Thank you Teja. Thank you Juhi that for that wonderful welcome. Welcome rather. Thank you, Neha, for that clarification. Yeah, I am aware people have joined from all over the country. Am I audible clearly, friends? Thank you, Parth, Brindan, Anisha. I think we are 80 members already. I think remaining people, they would be joining. With your permission, should I go ahead and discuss what I wish to in today's session, friends? Does that sound fine? Neha has started her campus pitching already. Nothing wrong. Appreciate Neha. You thinking so much about your students. Answer to your question at this stage is a little difficult for me, but definitely we'll explore and we'll come back to you. Thank you, Suchi Jain. Rachel Patel. Yes. So we are starting. So, friends, as I said, my name is Anil. Full name is Anil Kumar Misra. My roots are Misra without an H. My roots are in Orissa. The reason why I asked one of my friend from Vijayawada is, I could connect and I could speak Telugu, though Oriya is my mother tongue. I could speak Telugu and Tamil equal fluently. But right now, for my job, I am in Delhi, NCR, Noida. 23 years I've been practicing HR, started with manufacturing, then moved to hospitality, not a hotel management graduate, but very fortunate to work for, Oberoi Hotels, Oberoi Rajvilas precisely, which as per Condé Nast, even till today continues to be amongst world's 5 best hotel. So brilliant experience that was. Then I joined Patni Computers in Hyderabad. Subsequently, Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Chennai, all of that came into my portfolio. Then from Patni Computers, which got acquired by iGate, and iGate got acquired by Capgemini. So all my friends who chose to stay with iGate and Patni are right now part of Capgemini. Then my next assignment was with a UK retail giant called Tesco in Bangalore. From Tesco, my first CHRO assignment, Chief Human Resources Officer assignment, was with Just Dial in Mumbai. From Just Dial, my next assignment as CHRO was with Fidelity in Bangalore. From Fidelity, it's been glorious 4 years. I've been associated with Magic Bricks. I hope most of you are aware of Magic Bricks. This belongs to a company, a group called Bennett and Coleman, very popularly called Times of India Group. Yeah, again 180-year-old group in its operation, and Magic Bricks is 14 plus already in its operation. The good news is almost 2 years back we broken even, meaning it's a profit-making entity right now, and it's a separate P&L. Yeah. Now, typically when you open a newspaper, what do you see? Times of India. You see matrimonial, you see jobs, you see real estate. Yeah. You see economics, you see sports, plenty of other columns. The realization a couple of decades back was the future is of digital. Yeah. And hence, today, all those segments, all those columns that you typically see in a newspaper are a full-fledged P&L business. You talk about ClickBus, you talk about Ghana.com, you talk about Times Job, you talk about Times Internet Limited, you talk about Magic Bricks. Each one of them are separate business entity. While we continue to have our core newspaper business intact, but rest of everything is already in place. Radio Mirchi and plenty of other stuff. Yeah, that's the background. Now, 4 years back, I joined them as their CHRO. Prior to my joining, I was the first CHRO hired in the group, more specifically for Magic Bricks. Prior to my joining, there was a head of HR. Yeah, but somehow, I was required to join Magic Bricks, and rest everything is history. It's been 4 glorious years and plenty of stuff we could do. Yeah. So today, precisely, I wish to share what is the current scenario, what is that we are going through, and I'll also in the process let you know what has been some of my key learnings. Yeah. Every organization, friends, in the month of January, February, they carry out an activity very popularly called annual operating plan. What happens? Whether you want to go for campus hiring, how many people you got to be hiring from laterals? What is your digital marketing strategy? What is your automation projects? What is your investment you are likely to make on learning and development? What is your customer centric interventions that you wish to carry out? All of that gets decided in the beginning of the year, and that activity very popularly called annual operating plan. Just like any other company, we were also done with this activity till the time we got hit with this crisis called COVID-19, which happened towards the second week of March. Yeah, we all were waiting eagerly to implement, to execute our annual operating plan from 1st of April, which is our beginning of financial year. But then this crisis hit us, completely changed the way we used to do business. And I'm saying this is not industry agnostic. Everybody has felt this heat. Now, friends, there were 3 phases that all the HR heads, all the CHROs, all the leadership members, they had faced during this crisis. Yeah. Number one is, how do we survive during this crisis when everybody was forced to work from home, when everybody was forced to observe lockdown measures, and there were no economic activity happening. Yeah. Now, during that phase, I'm talking about April, May, June, for almost all sectors. That time, the number one priority for all corporates was, how do we survive? What we need to do so as to stay afloat in that business. That was the intent, friends. And hence, every organization, they went ahead and introduced numerous means of staying afloat. And what is the first obvious response, or first obvious action? Cut down on the cost which are good to do activity. Every organization bucketized, identified what is must to do activity and what is good to do activity. Yeah. Must to do activity took precedence. Good to do activity took back step. Yeah. Good to do activity, for example, organizing offsites, business meetings in exotic locations, organizing, let's say, the visiting campuses for proactive hiring. Yeah. Or probably going for employee welfare budget exorbitantly. Those things, and learning and development measures and other things also took little bit of hit during this phase. On top of that, measures like deferring annual increment cycle, withholding promotion announcements, going for graded pay cut, and the ultimate, unfortunate, but layoffs, plenty of job losses. We all have come across such situations, irrespective of the nature of the company. By and large, across sectors, we have seen this. Why? As I said, first phase was all about staying afloat, staying relevant. Now, friends, here I want you to pay attention. Very, very important. As a practitioner, there are two key takeaways I wish to share with you, which are my personal experiences. Number one, if you proactively go and communicate and tell people about the ground reality, the kind of crisis that we are going through, and hence the kind of action that we need to be initiating, so as to stay relevant, so as to survive, so as to stay ahead of the race or stay afloat, people, they appreciate, they understand if you go ahead and communicate. Now, the trick here is, my dear friends, how do you do that? If there are few job losses, people are not against this. People understand that difficult. If there is absolutely no business, none of the startups would be surviving. Or people with poor financial background or P&L background will be struggling. That's a known fact. But the trick here is, friends, how did you manage this crisis will determine the flight of the organization and will be remembered forever, for a very long time. During crisis, that's why people say this is the true test of a character for an organization, for a leader. And hence, the quick two takeaways for me is, you cannot demean dignity of labor. If you have to go for layoff, do that, but with utmost respect. You cannot demean the dignity of labor. It always has to be upheld and done respectfully. Number one. Number two, every organization would have certain values, which we say the values are the DNAs of a corporate culture. During crisis, my dear friends, you got to look at the long-term loss, not the short-term gain. And hence, very important for us to not compromise the value of an organization. Once you do that, then you run the risk of completely spoiling the organization culture. You cannot win back people's confidence on the culture. And hence, two quick learnings. You cannot treat people with utmost respect and dignity, irrespective of the time that an organization goes through. That would be the true test of a character for a leader, for an organization. Number two learning is you cannot afford to compromise on corporate values. Why? Once you do that, people would feel, hey, this is just lip service an organization is doing. It's good to be hanged in the company premises, but they don't mean, and hence culture will go for a toss. Come what may, you cannot build that culture again, because in crisis time you did not bother to uphold the values. Yeah, and these are the two quick learning, friends. The first phase is about survival. Irrespective of the time that you go through, if you focus on these two golden rules, you would always be a winner. Or in other words, organizations who did not compromise on these two values have found it relatively easier to manage the situation. Yeah. Why am I saying this as my biggest takeaway during this time? Friends, the crisis, do you feel the crisis is over? No. We have seen similar crisis in 2008 in the form of Great Depression. We managed that. Today, last year onwards, 2020, we saw COVID-19. I tend to believe maybe another couple of quarters, it will completely be under control. Yeah. And there is no guarantee, friends, that there will not be some other crisis in future. Crisis is bound to happen. That's not in our control. What's in our control is to learn from those crises and prepare and move ahead optimistically. Staying positive is what we can do. Rest, nothing is in our hands. But what did we learn? Do not demean the dignity of labor, irrespective of the times that you go through. Everybody deserves to be respected. Dignity of labor should be upheld all the time. Number two, cannot afford to compromise on corporate values. I'm sure you would have come across comments by Ratanji Tata, right, about difficult time, how organizations are left, right, and center retrenching people. Organizations who were claiming that we are world's greatest hospitality with large number of room inventory did not bother to fire people left, right, and center. People or organizations who were claiming that this is my company's valuation, the bubble, my dear friends, has already burst. So the valuation game is not here to stay. Hence, my third learning is cash is king, or a healthy P&L balance is always a better situation rather than going for full page advertisement in newspapers, in TV channels, in other media. But, and talking about valuation, but when a crisis hits, then we do not know how to manage people and ask people left, right, and center mercilessly. Now, I'm not blaming any of the company. I'm not critical of any of the company. Probably that is the best option left. But this kind of a scenario exposes the true worth of a company. And hence, third learning, valuation game is not sustainable. It's not here to stay. Valuation on paper does not make any sense. The true test of character would be, or rather, I would feel safer when the company's P&L balance is healthy. I don't want organizations to absolutely must people. Yeah, that is my third learning. Friend, so second phase is all about from survival. Second phase was how do we win back or recover back the lost ground? I said April, May, June. The first quarter was difficult. Slowly, July, August, and September, the lockdown got lifted, certain activities got started, and few organizations, few sectors were severely impacted. And I also strongly believe any adverse situation also provides a great opportunity for other sector to grow. For example, sectors like manufacturing, travel, hospitality, severely these sectors got impacted. At the same time, sectors like healthcare, sectors like grocery delivery, sectors like your YouTubers, yeah, plenty of growth we have seen in these sectors. And when I'm saying any adverse situation is also a great opportunity for somebody to probably, innovate. Example is car manufacturing company who were not into anything except car manufacturing got into mask production. E-commerce players who were not into grocery delivery got into grocery delivery. Hospitality hotels who were focusing on fine dining experience started homes delivery of those fine dining cuisine. Yeah. So the bottom line is any adverse situation also is a great opportunity. During the Q2 second phase of how do we recover back the lost ground, the focus was mainly around what we need to do to stay back in the business or recover back the lost ground. You have people, you have vendors waiting for payment. So you don't have any other choices left but to innovate and reorient, reboot your business strategy, your ways of working, just to earn some revenue so that would be helpful in paying the salaries for people or recover back the lost ground. That was, friends, all about second phase. Third phase is all about, to me, is about first phase was how do we stay alive. Second phase is all about how do we recover back the lost ground. Number three is all about what we need to do as a corporate again to get back to that excellence mode. How do we excel as a corporate and go back to pre-COVID era and rather better than that pre-COVID era as far as our business outcome is concerned. And organizations did their strategies, reoriented or rebooted their overall strategy, and now they are thinking of completely even excelling or going back to a situation which is even better than pre-COVID era. Yeah. So these are, my dear friends, three broad phases. Now, for student community, when I'm saying any adverse situation is also a great opportunity, what I also mean is I tend to believe, and this is not industry agnostic, this is in generic, by and large this year, the campus activity or the overall hiring would either be stagnant or will slightly slow down. Reason being, organizations are playing that wait and watch game, how things unfold. Yeah. And hence, in some sector, probably the hiring number would go or hiring activity will go. In some sector, it will be stagnant. In some sector, it will further go down. So by and large, overall hiring activity or campus activity this year in terms of campus hiring will be little slower than the previous years. Now, total employment generation will be slightly lesser than last year. Now, when the full-time employment will diminish, it will give rise to another parallel economy, popularly called gig economy. So, friends, what is gig economy? You are a subject matter expert, you are available in the market, you render your services, but you are not married to any one company. You are a subject matter expert. You will render your services to 2-3 companies for a limited period of time, and this arrangement is called gig. Today, for example, the Amazon delivery guys or the Uber drivers, or for that matter, if you want a AC technician, repair technician, we reach out to either a Just Dial or a urban company. They come, they complete your task. You don't hire them. Similarly, for white collar jobs, you want a digital marketing expert, you want a merger and acquisition expert, you want a CFO, but not on a full-term basis, but for a stipulated period of time. So this is called gig economy. Mind you, friends, it's a huge business. Globally, it is estimated to be $4.5 trillion business. Good news is, India already features amongst world's top 5 nations which are already using gig workers. After US and China, number 3rd is India. Then comes your Mexico and Japan and other countries. Yeah, so there is a market. And cut to India, it's estimated in the next 18 months, it's going to touch $450 billion industry. It's also estimated this year, another 6 to 7 million gig workers are likely to join this gig economy in India. So the bottom line here, friends, is definitely part-time assignment, contractual assignment in the form of gig assignment. That will already, we have started seeing the growth, and it will grow to the tune of 20 to 40%. Yeah. So jobs or engagement, employment, that will be there, but probably full-time to gig assignment, that ratio would be, gig would be more and full-time assignment for some time. My prediction is it's going to be little lesser than before. Yeah. Third thing, we all have changed the way we used to run business. One example, organizations in future will have more flexibility in the workplace in terms of working. What I mean by that is, example, work from home. Yeah. And normally, I'm sure you would have come across statements that work from home is the new normal. I don't believe in that statement, simply because of the fact there is nothing called new normal. These are the new ways of working, but this would only become new way till the time you have another crisis. When you have another crisis, again, we would evolve newer methods. And hence, this new normal is not static. It's very dynamic. It will keep on changing. Second thing, work from home as a flexible option is not new to us. Even before pre-COVID era, we had this, but that was probably confined to predominantly product, tech, and engineering guys. All those people, IT, software guys, right? But cut to this pandemic, when everybody was forced to follow the lockdown measure, but the business activity was required to go as usual, every function, irrespective of the fact whether you belong to front of the house or you are part of back of the house, everybody has proved rest of the management wrong. In terms of efficacy, they have proved that irrespective of the fact whether you are in HR, admin, marketing, or any other activity, even call centers, everybody was found productive. And hence, it reoriented our thought process. And future is going to have more workplace flexibility. Yeah. And second argument to that, my dear friends, is if you are a performance-driven company, and what matters end of the day is not whether you have punched in 10 hours of work, but what has been your net value addition to the company. In a high performance-driven culture, what is your value addition? That matters. Whether you operate from the beautiful beaches of Goa or from Mumbai or from Delhi or any other place for that matter, does not matter. And hence, my counter narrative argument is, why work from home? Work from anywhere will be the newer thing, or probably will be the flexibility in terms of workplace. That's why, since I'm part of Magic Bricks and I'm aware, As a sector, we are back to business, and even in certain segments better than pre-COVID era. Why? Because of this flexibility, people today are operating from Bhubaneswar, from a Vijayawada, from a Patna, from Jamshedpur. Everybody is allowing people, and hence we have seen a demand surge in the demand in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And I'm not talking about only residential, be it commercial, be it co-working space, everywhere the real estate demand, we have seen a surge, and hence the business is back to normal. In certain cases, even better than pre-COVID era. Now, these workplace flexibilities are here to stay. Now, for students' easy understanding, I developed an acronym and I call it the benefits of work from home are very simply regarded as STOP. Now, I'm saying there are multiple benefits, but easy remembering STOP, wherein S is for social distancing. The virus, if the WHO report got to be believed, the virus is here to stay. And the only way out for people like you and I to stay safe is to peacefully coexist with the virus. And what is the way? Social distancing, wearing a mask, constant sanitization, right? And hence, I believe work from home provides those benefits. So it's a win-win proposition. S is for social distancing and STOP. T is for travel time. Friends, it's a proven fact. Research data are available. Irrespective of the city that you live in, typically an Indian worker spends any time between 20 to 30% of the productive time in commuting, in the to and fro, from office to home. Yeah, in work from home, those commuting time can be reduced, and hence the productivity might go higher. And again, that's the second benefit for both the parties. And hence, I believe this flexibility is further going to gain momentum. Third benefit, S, T, and O. O is for office occupancy in the STOP mnemonic, in the STOP acronym. O is for office occupancy, meaning gone are those days where organizations would be paying or investing money in a fixed asset, in buildings, in campuses. So the future would be of more flexible workplace in the form of co-working spaces, in the form of multiple, any space. What you need is just a internet bandwidth, and if it is near to your place, by all means go ahead and log in from there and continue your work, or from home, or from anywhere. But outcome is more important. Your value addition is more important, and hence office occupancy, the investment on office occupancy would further diminish. And P is for the pollution levels. Yeah. If you are part of Delhi, then you would find, or any city in India, during this lockdown, the pollution levels were drastically down. And think of old age people, think of people suffering with asthma. And the realization is not necessarily them, but everybody. The realization is, can we also find out a way to take care of the ecology, the environment, the mother nature? That is, probably balancing our survival. That is probably also taking care of the overall ecology or the environment. Very, very important for us. Yeah. Since these are the benefits, I feel definitely workplace flexibility, you would see more and more. Now, for student community, definitely I wanted to give you this as my input. Mind you, in good times, we will go to campus, we will meet up in person, we will find out a CGPA cutoff, and then, a group discussion, and then the hiring process will happen. Now, everything has gone through a change. Today, we screen shortlist candidates' profile through telephonic interview. Yeah. And if successfully cleared, then we go for video-based interview. Then do rough check and, go ahead and roll out offers. Now, mind you, very, very important for us to pay attention, the competencies required or the practice required to face an interview through a telephonic or a video-based interview, they are significantly different. My counter question to you, my dear friends, how prepared are you? Check on voice modulation. Your communication, very, very important. Stand in front of mirror or do your Zoom call, or see how you come across. What's your body language? What's your eye contact? How do you carry? These are significant inputs that I wanted to share with you. Because the interviewing techniques, the competencies required for all those modes are quite different. Are you prepared? The more you are prepared, the better are your chances of success. Now, second input, my dear friends, suppose if I said that, these are during this time, we will see less number of campus activity relatively, then your number one focus has to be only on learning. Go ahead and carry out any project, take away any life project, even if it doesn't pay you, or get into summer internship purely with an intent of learning, even if you do not get the kind of stipend that you were expecting. Why? Because the learning, my dear friends, that you are going to have, nobody can take it out. And again, you will be successful. Good times will come. That's when you can encash this. Yeah. In difficult times, very important for us to be nimble and have our priorities right. And the priority right now has to be, how do I acquire knowledge? How do I create that significance in my CV? Yeah, very, very important. By all means, I pray and hope that you should get a job of your choice. You should get a job of your summer internship or life project. But if some of us are not able to get because of the situation, then we cannot feel victimized. Yeah, we cannot say, why during my time I have been focusing on studies, but why during my time? No, certain stuff which is not in your sphere of control, no fun feeling victimized, no fun feeling, why me? Yeah, don't do that. Stay positive. Go ahead and do that. Now, during this time, as an HR leader, my observation also has been, there are few unwritten competencies that has gained momentum. For example, your problem solving approach will be very, very important in future. Your design thinking, meaning how do you look at a problem statement? How do you go about it? Is it methodical or you jump into conclusion? How do you do that? Overall design thinking, problem solving approach, your emotional question, how calm, composed, and how professionally you manage things will be also test of character. Your ability to take people along. You are individually brilliant, but do you have what it takes to be a great team player? Will be measured. Your tech savviness, your digital savviness. Great news is all of you are good when it comes to digital savviness, because you were brought up in high-speed internet era. So that's an advantage which comes to you naturally. Your overall, how optimistic you are. Yeah, these are very, very important stuff. Yeah, these are unwritten competencies. Yeah. Now, last one in that scheme of thing, very, very important is, please do take this as a great opportunity. You all are right now learning from your respective hometowns. Try and acquire a new skill which will give you some competitive advantage. Now, why I'm talking about competitive advantage? My question is to Rashika. My question is to Sweta. My question is to Astha. My question is to Pradnya and Sandeep. Who is your competition? In a digitized economy, you are competing not against your rest of friends from IBS, but you are competing against everybody whosoever is connected all across the globe, be it China, be it Japan, be it the UK, US, anybody, whosoever is going to pass out. Rashika, you are absolutely right, but you will have to compete with everybody who would be passing out. Yeah, yeah. And my counter question to that is, why should anybody hire you, Astha? Why should anybody hire you? What is so unique about this, about you? Now, the reason why I ask this question is I want you to introspect and think seriously. What is your unique value proposition? When there are thousands of people available in the market, what would make you different? Yeah, in that scheme of thing, my tips to you is your personal branding and your networking skill will be very, will hold the key to your success. And in a digitized world, these are of utmost importance. Now, let me try and explain. How do you generate your strength, your branding? You need to identify what are you good at. If you are good at white paper writing or conceptual stuff, write a white paper, get it published. That's how you will get noticed. If you are good at tech, the world is full of problems. Create an app which would solve somebody's problem, a business problem. That will help you. If you are good at analytics, predictive modeling, there are plenty of information all around us. Can you derive some insight and help business to get out of any kind of a problem or a crisis? If yes, people would notice you. Simply sending LinkedIn invites, you might not get noticed and people might not accept that. But think of a scenario when you follow somebody, when you track a company, when you see what has been the product line of a company, how they have grown, what are the significant milestones, then you start establishing a linkage saying that you are interested in that space, you have been following, this is your point of view, what do you think, where you would have maximum chances of getting noticed? And that's what is precisely required, my dear friends. And once you did your branding, then you initiate. Next step is networking. The world relies on networking today. Why? Because one more learning that I want you to take home today is talent would always be a winner. Why I'm saying this? Because irrespective of the times that we go through, everywhere, every time, there would be a need of good talent. And hiring activity was happening even during April, May, and June of 2020 for certain critical positions. But if you are well networked, you get to know that these are the companies who are hiring. Yeah. So these are, friends, in summary, my quick tips to my student friends of IBS Mumbai. And with that, as I said, I'll give 10 minutes for a Q&A and I take a pause here. Feel free to ask me questions. I'll take probably top 3 questions on priority. And in the meantime, also let me know, how did you find today's session? Very quickly. Did you find it's worth and there were few takeaways for you? Or it's just what a waste of time? Anything is fine, but feedback is important. Well said, Rashika. Guys, want to understand how was today's session? Thank you, Juhi. I see only Juhi responding. Thank you, Sandeep. You made my evening. Rashika, as a fresher in HR, what are the points I should focus on? Focus on acquiring as much knowledge as possible. Enjoy your time in the campus. However, try and work in team. Develop a new skill. Life skills are more important. Academic credentials and good CGPA score is important. However, at the same time, application of knowledge is even more important. So focus on these things. These are few quick tips. Thank you, Astha. Ekta, it was thank you, Ekta, for that response. New ways of gig economy. I believe that is gig and spelling mistake. but that's fine. Thank you, Rashika. Mayank is asking what kind of jobs will be in demand in 2021. Jobs like digital marketing, jobs like content writing, jobs like preparing a proposal, jobs like counseling, coaching, jobs like psychologists, jobs like digital marketing. These are the trends, that we are seeing. Product management, UX, UI designer. These are the kind of jobs that I'm seeing gaining even more significance during this time. Thank you, Teja. Fantastic. Now, if I believe whatever you said in the form of your feedback, what I'm also going to request is, if you like, that is the catch. If you liked today's session, you also need to give some sort of a Guru Dakshina, isn't it? A Guru Dakshina in the form of, you got to, if you like today's session, would request you also to subscribe to Dr.HR channel, which I started 3 months back. I've already covered 10,000 plus students from ISB, from all IIMs, Jamnalal Bajaj, Symbiosis, XLRI, all those leading institutes. And I'm glad today I covered even IBS. Yeah, there are interesting videos there, practical videos. Would request you to go and subscribe to Dr.HR, my channel. At 46, I created this channel. My age is 46. At this age, I created, and I need some sort of a motivation and support also from your side, Ekta, Mahima, Rashika, and all my friends from IBS. So if you like today's session, that is what I would want you to do. Please subscribe. Ekta has already done, Varun. So you got to be also doing it. So I did a little bit of branding. Thank you guys for your time. Thoroughly enjoyed interacting with you. Again, I conclude by saying, I pray and hope that all of you should get job of your choice. Stay indoors, stay safe, and it's fantastic interacting with you. Thank you for that invite, and thank you for your patience. With that, we come to conclusion of today's session, friends. Bye-bye. Take care. Stay safe.